In this video, we will be talking about chromatic modulation. Specifically, we will focus on enharmonic modulation through the use of the German augmented sixth chord. You might recall that how a chord is spelled can inform the way we expect it to resolve. For instance, in the second movement of Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata, the composer utilizes this trick of enharmonic spellings, amongst other things, in measures 41 and 42 to respell the C-flat E-flat dyad as B and D sharp. This changes our expectation of how the notes should function as the music modulates to the key of E major. There are many other things involved in why this modulation works well, but it is this principle of enharmonic spellings that we will build upon for this video. While there are several types of chords which can be respelled enharmonically to reflect different expectations for resolution, we will focus on the use of the German augmented sixth chord, as it is especially valuable for this type of modulation. Since the German augmented sixth chord sounds exactly like a dominant seventh chord, it can be introduced, respelled, and reinterpreted to resolve in ways other than initially expected. The reason these two chords sound the same but resolve differently is because the augmented sixth, in this example the E sharp, is the same note as the F natural of this dominant seventh chord. However, because of its spelling, we expect it to function differently than the harmonic minor seventh. While we might expect the minor seventh to resolve down by step, as is typical of music in the common practice period, when it is spelled as an augmented sixth, we expect that interval to expand out to an octave. Take this excerpt from a piece by Schubert as an example. In the second measure of this excerpt, Schubert uses a sonority that could function as tonicizing a C chord of some sort, but instead, the F sharp gives us a clue that we should interpret it differently. Sure enough, the composer treats this chord like a German augmented sixth chord in the key of B natural to modulate the music out of the temporary key of G major and back to the original key of B. Here is a piano reduction of what we might have expected compared to what Schubert does. Again, rather than tonicizing the key of C, Schubert instead gives a full modulation into a key a half step away from this expectation to move the music back to the key of B major. This is an interesting characteristic of this particular modulation. When using the duality of a German augmented sixth or dominant seventh chord to modulate between two keys, the resulting key will always be a half step away from the expected resolution. Here we have a short example in B flat and its expected resolution. If we enharmonically respell the 5-7 chord as a German augmented sixth chord, our expectations change and the resolution is a half step lower in the key of A. If we wanted to modulate back to the key of B flat from the key of A, we can simply reverse this process by reinterpreting a German augmented sixth chord as a 5-7 chord, which then needs to be resolved in the key of B flat. So, as a quick review, the German augmented sixth chord can be used to modulate between keys using enharmonic reinterpretation. The resulting modulation will always be a half step either higher or lower than what was originally expected. This makes it a great tool for composers to dramatically change the character of their music.